Originally, I was thinking Sunil will be playing Akshay's role and Raju will be played by Sunil Shetty. From the day I came to the industry, I am hearing one line. Industry is in big problem. I believe one thing, no film fails, only budget fails. A comedy filmmaker is never considered as a good filmmaker. Mostly in Bollywood, I feel the films are very fake. I don't like to do sequels. I know to make the original how much I suffered. And I am tense whether it will work. I don't want to take a bigger burden next time to make it work again.
Priyan sir, welcome to Variety India.
Thank you.
I want to start by asking you, what kind of a creative space are you in right now? You know, your last Hindi release was in 2021,
Yeah.
which was Hangama 2.
Yeah.
Why the long gap?
No, I was actually taking little time away because the basic reason is things were not happening the way I wanted it to. So I thought a break is necessary. And then I was concentrating more on South. So I was not doing much work here. Then, in fact, me and Akshay discussed a couple of projects and all. What he liked, I didn't like. What I liked, he didn't like. So now, thanks to Ekta, she brought in a subject. First he liked it, then when I heard it, I said that, okay, there is potential. Let me work on it. So I worked on it and that's how this film happened.
You know, you mentioned Akshay Kumar at this point in time. I want to take you back in time and ask you, do you remember the first time meeting him? And now that you speak about agreeing to disagree, which happens, it's part of the creative process. What was your first memory of meeting Akshay?
That's I remember very well because I was planning to do Hera Pheri. So Feroz took me to one location near, in front of Sea Rock Hotel. So he was shooting there and he said, sir, come. Then he started driving the car and narrate me what it is. So I just narrated Hera Pheri to him. So I said, what do you think? Okay. He said, I'll do I don't want the heroine, I want other role. He was smart.
Which role was he talking about?
Originally, I was thinking Sunil will be playing Akshay's role and Raju will be played by Sunil Shetty. And so suddenly he said, no, Shyam will be played by Akshay Kumar. And Tabu as a girl and all those things. So suddenly he said, no, I want the other role. Let Sunil keep Tabu. So, and they immediately agreed and that's how I met him first time. But today, generally he never asked me because there's something very interesting that he asked me only one question. Are you excited? The moment I say, yes, Akshay, then let's go ahead. So all these years in between when we met and all, he used to ask him, are you excited? I said, not exactly. Then let's not do it. So this is how I was always telling, there are two actors like that. One is Mohanlal and one is Akshay Kumar. They never ask me what I'm doing. They completely trust me. So I have a huge commitment back to them. Because someone who would completely trust you, you can't let them down. So that is with both these people. They completely trust you. So I get very tense. Okay, what I have to deliver to them. Maybe because of that, films worked well with me and with both of them.
Do you feel the dynamic between an actor and a director has changed? The trust factor is not there anymore?
I have never experienced it because that is there, but I rarely have come across actors who has any issue to me in believing me, but at least they will listen. For example, there's today the Akshay Khanna is talked very much, but I always felt I did 5-6 films with him, so he always felt that he deserved it long time back. The name this hype he actually deserved because he's one of the finest actors I have ever seen. So, but they all ask you, what are we doing? Or, okay, do you want me to do like this? Or do you want me to do this? Guy actually never asks, okay, ready, sir. That's it. See, that is why when they are asking you questions and you are answering their question, like I was just shooting with Saif. Saif is the most mature child I've ever met because he has, like children, every day he has doubts. So as a patient father, I used to answer it. Then things are okay. So people are different. So every time, each one of them, you have to handle them accordingly. Whether it is Shah Rukh, Salman, Akshay, whoever it is.
You didn't work with Shah Rukh again after Billu Barbar. You mentioned Shah Rukh now,
Yeah.
so I just remembered.
Yeah, that is true. Because in between I met and he said, let's do a comedy film. I want to do humor. But what happens is it's not easy. The most difficult thing in the world is to make people laugh. It's very difficult. I think I was telling that is a way. Have you ever seen, I heard about a comedy film director winning any good awards? No. Because it's the most difficult thing to make people laugh, and the film fraternity looks down upon you, saying, his film only you can laugh. There's nothing more in this film. So that is the reason at one moment hearing it, I decided to make films like Alapani and Kanjivaram. That's why I said actually I enjoy making serious films and humorous films. But the kind of pain I go through to make people laugh, which I don't face when I'm making a serious movie.
Do you feel that comedy is one of the most understated genres today?
That's absolutely, I think.
And why so?
Everybody wants it. But the filmmakers, that's what it is, the fraternity of filmmakers and critics, and for them, yes, but people really wants that. Because in the world where everybody wants to laugh, because to cry and to fear or to feel sympathetic or any of this emotion easily available in the world itself. You don't have to show it in a film, but to laugh. In real life, also, it's very difficult to laugh unless and until something really laughable happens. So that's why I think that the shelf life of comedy films are much longer than the normal films.
Absolutely. I mean, just look at Hera Pheri. The
Yeah.
number of times that is played on TV till date,
Exactly.
it has surpassed generations and generations. It's the most viral memes have come from that film.
Because when you want some relief, I mentioned it when I had a very touching moment. I was in Bombay airport and a teenage girl came and said that, can you come and meet my grandma? So I went to see her and she said, nice to see you. I never thought I'll ever see you. So she told me after my parents, they died in some accident or something. She was in a depression. She said Hangama is the first film. After seeing, she started smiling, and today she'll ask whether any of my film comes. So I felt so good that I'm, in a way, you're doing your social duty by making people laugh. But I tell you, it is very painful that a comedy filmmaker is never considered as a good filmmaker by the industry and critics.
Is there a scene from all of your comedy films that was the hardest to crack in terms of just getting the timing right?
No,
On
nothing
paper,
like that.
it was
Nothing
written
like
in the
that.
script.
Because I see basically in comedy films the main thing is it's a choreography. You have to choreograph your scenes. It is not shoot your scenes. So especially when humor, situation and slapstick gets mixed, it's a huge choreography of shots and movements where actors' timings are extremely important. When you fail to get a timing of an actor, I make it by editing it. So this process is something I enjoyed very much, and when I do it, I am very tense till I see it on the screen. But I feel okay, it'll work means I'll take the safety of seeing that the whole choreography works. In a serious scene, we are not doing that. We are just trying to find the space and the time and reactions and counter reactions and shooting it in a dramatic way. But shooting a comedy scene is always I call it is an absolute choreography.
Are you somebody who lets actors improvise?
I do, but within the limit of what I want. See, the thing is, it's like I always tell them, please, I don't need another writer. I have a writer, and what is written, you can speak only that. But whatever they add, if I feel it as a highlight, I'll always keep it. Sometimes what they go overboard, and when they go overboard, the counter dialogue fails. Because exactly when you stop here, the counter comes only there's a punch. So I always say that don't go over whatever is the matter. Please don't cross that. You can put their own contributions if they have. If it is appreciable, I'll say yes.
Is there a bit on set that you've kept in a film that perhaps was not on paper, but because the timing was so right, there was just magic in the air that day?
Not exactly, but there is moments I have felt that, okay, this, I never thought about it, kind of sequences like in Hera Pheri, when Akshay is throwing the coconut on Sunil, he ducks and the door opens. That timing should be very perfect, and I knew that at least I have to take about 5-6 takes. And he opened, not only he opened, I have never seen pain and anger in one mixed expression, which I was quite shocked the way Paresh reacted. And that is one moment I really understood that this man is a real talent, more than what I have expected. So there are certain surprises do happen like that, but I don't remember because basically I told you, because I choreograph it well so that I'm not prepared for any surprises.
As somebody who watches films world over or films in India, is comedy also then a favorite genre of yours? Do you like to watch other filmmakers do comedy films? Are there any favorites?
At present, no. But I used to love films of Rishikesh Mukherjee. I used to like the films of Hariharan from in Tamil. There was, because these two people impressed me a lot on humor. And definitely it's like, from there then I have also learned certain kind of things like, okay, for example, if I love Utpal Dutt because of his humor, his straight face humor he had. So while I was watching films, these are the people who inspired me basically. Otherwise, I was not. But one thing I have to tell you, I was a big fan of Laurel Hardy, Buster Keaton, and Charlie Chaplin. So I have adapted a lot of the way they shoot the scenes. I adapted it a lot into my cinema.
You know, these names that you mentioned, they're iconic, and slapstick in itself is such a huge genre.
Yeah.
We see it over, but it has to be done right.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
correct.
it can just fall flat.
No. It should be because there is an element of belief because I always tell that my slapstick basically comes from Tom and Jerry. So I really love the way they plan the whole thing, and many sequences in my films are taken from Tom and Jerry inspiration.
You know, if I look at the 2000s, there was that era which you absolutely ruled with this genre in terms of slapstick comedy or films that absolutely were laugh a riot. And till today, if you watch them, you still laugh. You've seen the scene multiple amount of times. There is that sense of magic in those scenes which is missing in today's cinema. There is that there are a lot of these elements which perhaps today a person goes to the theaters and feels like I'm not seeing films the same way, or there is something missing. What do you think is missing in today's?
Okay, I tell you, one is I never encourage films. I mean, I myself don't encourage me to make films which has got double meanings. I don't like it. Secondly, I don't like buffoonery in cinema. So I always say that wit is there, humor is there, jokes are there, slapstick is there, and last is buffoonery. That is one place I don't want to. I try my best not to cross that line, which I am seeing in a lot of films. And when there is no choice for people to laugh, they are laughing at the buffoonery. But this control is very important, and I only believe in situation humor. I don't believe because I believe that once humor is situational, dialogues are only bonus. And actors behave on that situation. They don't act in a situation. They behave on a situation. So when you take the behavior, situation, movement, character movement, timing, everything joined together, you get a very perfect humorous scene without a cliche feel. That's what I believe.
You know, we are talking about comedy as a genre, and I spoke about the fact that there are certain kind of films that are doing really well at the box office. We speak about numbers, we speak about opening day collections, right? In the last year itself, there have been two films which have done very well. One is Chhawa, one is Dhurandhar, and there is a common thread of people saying that there is violence, a common thread that binds these two films. What is your take on violence on the big screen?
Definitely when it has got its impact, which you feel should not happen. See, if you see, when you see a sequence of violence, and when you are seeing that, oh, this should not happen, if that is the attitude our audience has, I can encourage violence. But if they started enjoying that, it's a very dangerous thing. So these are the two ways you can look at it. If you start enjoying seeing blood splashing and they say, no, it should not happen is the attitude. So there's two ways, positive and negative, how you project it. I'm just talking today as a psychology graduate to you that this is the right approach the film should take. Or, okay, now we have seen violence in Western films and all. It is fun for us. It is not affecting anybody into the heart. But I am seeing nowadays there's a trend that people want to see gruesome violence, and it is an impact. I don't know, certain amount of youngsters, they like to see gruesome violence. That is not encouraged.
Do you get time to watch Hindi films?
I watch films which I hear a good report, and I always watch it, and I try my best to watch it in the theater because I had a lot of time, so I watched a lot of films because I was not working like I used to be. Because you should understand, 98 films in 42 years. So how many days I was involved? Now last 10 years I really had good time. I used to visit theaters. I used to sit and enjoy watching movies in theaters. So that was the best thing happened in last 10 years.
Which is the last Hindi film you watched?
Now, yeah, Durandar.
And your thoughts?
See, I liked the film for not because he was Aditya was with me. Yeah, I liked the film.
He's assisted you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he wrote for me. 2 films he wrote, dialogues. Why I liked it is because I was reading, just before this, there was this Declan Wash 11 Lives of Pakistan is there. I was reading that. And I met Walsh also in a literature meeting. The book is banned here, I think. There's only hardly little copies are here. And when I saw the film, all the characters which is mentioned in the book is here. And it is not a plain fiction. So many characters are real. So in fact, from Walsh, I got one of the Sajita's characters' real photo. I sent it to Aditya. So that's where I really enjoyed that film. I found it very, very, very true to. It is just not that you are making a commercial stuff, but the characters are real characters. So then that kind of manipulation everybody internationally has done also. But doing that is, I think it's a big thing. But also you can't believe nowadays there are 2 films. One is Animal and one is Durandar. These 2 films, people always say, every producer, everybody has a problem. Film is lengthy, it won't work. These 2 films are almost 3.5 hours each. And the 2 is 3 hours, 55 minutes.
Yes.
So it's not the length. You should not feel it. When you're watching a film, I never felt the film is so long. I felt that I saw a 2.5 hour film. But sometimes you watch a 2 hours film, you feel like you watched it for 4 hours. So length is not at all a problem. How you hold, how the screenplay and the execution holds, the audience is more important. That's what I believe. Because my films are always little lengthy.
Yes. What were your thoughts when this conversation was happening about certain films from South India doing really well, cracking these really big numbers, and these headlines were doing the rounds that, Bollywood is shutting shop, South films are doing better. There was this whole narrative conversation going on in the industry, in the media space, pitting South versus North. What was your take on that?
See, I don't understand actually what, basically, my biggest problem is when I see collections, I always calculate how many, sometimes collections are more than the population of the country. So I can't believe this. So whichever way my business calculation is going wrong. So I understood, okay, there is, and I checked with some producers, they said we have to do that. So every film is a 100 club film today. Nobody cares about, now they care only about 500 club and 1,000 club. So forget all this boosting and all those things, I agree. But one good thing happened is there was, I hope it's always for the best. See, there was a huge, before Durandar, there was a criticism that the South films are much more real. That's the only thing, whether it's Pushpa or Kandara, they treat the film real so that you feel that it could happen. It's like you're watching Mission Impossible, but the way they shoot, you don't doubt it. They convincingly make the unbelievable stories. Here, what happens is believable. There is nothing I see mostly in Bollywood. I feel the films are very, very fake. I saw a very good film, Rocky or Rani Ki Prem Kahani. See, the film did well. I was actually seeing today's youth. Actually, it's an olden day theory film, but today's youth is also enjoying it because the film looked believable and aesthetically, musically, everything was. It was a very good feeling film. Then it's okay, but 90% of the movies which is coming is we can't relate it to the movie. That's a problem which was happening in Bollywood. That's how I felt.
That is true. Your thoughts on then when people were saying that, things, correction should happen, maybe actors' fees need to be looked at. There is such a huge entourage that an actor comes with. There are vanity vans. The cost cutting needs to happen. Does the producer need to then pay fees for certain points which an actor should bear? As somebody who has made films over the years and given back-to-back blockbusters, at a time when box office was not a metric, but your films have enjoyed massive success, what are your thoughts on course correction?
I believe one thing, no film fails, only budget fails. I strongly believe that. No film fails, only the budget fails. So, when you are making a film with certain cast and you know the business of the film. But if you are overdoing that, definitely it will burn your hands. So, every film, because from the day I came to the industry, I am hearing one line. Industry is in big problem. From the day I entered till today, I am hearing it every day for the last 42 years. So, there will be problems, but how to sort it out is there is no unity in the first place. Basically, in North, I have seen South. Producers have very good unity, distributors will join them. Then they put certain rules not to cross certain limits. Here in Bollywood, there is no unity between anybody. Everybody is selfish on their own. I'm talking about producers, not I'm talking about others. Producers. That is why they can't take any stand against, a solid stand against any of these. Even in US, you can see the unions, everybody's union is very strong and union discusses and solves the problem, which is not here.
Are you also detached to your own work? For example, if maybe a younger filmmaker or a different filmmaker, another director had to take your legacy or franchise ahead, which has happened in the past with a few of your titles. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't, because basically I tell you, I don't like to do sequels because I know to make the original how much I suffered. And I am tense whether it will work. Finally, when it works, I don't want to take a bigger burden next time to make it work again. So I feel that, okay, if you are taking films like Terminator 1, 2 and all, you can see a continuity. Here only the title matches, nothing else matches. So that is what I will accept Hera Pheri 2. I mean, I think that was the first sequel happened in India.
Yes.
So, not in India, in Bollywood, because South it has happened before. So, then they are utilizing the fame of the previous film to pull the audience into the theatre. Then what happens is they are coming in 3 or 4 days because of that aura of the first part, films are collecting. After that, the films are dropping. By the time producer feels that I have made my money. So it's a kind of exploitation. I rather say it's a kind of extortion of the first film.
That's a very interesting way to look at it. No other director from the South film industry has had a track record like yours. You have crossed languages, you have crossed age groups, you have crossed, I would even say, nationalities. I know of people outside of India who enjoy your films. Why do you feel that has happened? If you had to step back and look at your body of work, maybe it's difficult to do that, but who do you credit that success for?
I tell you something. Definitely, to a large extent, I say that thanks to my dad, who has been a librarian and allowed me to read a lot during my young days. Because one good thing happened is when my first passion was cricket, and I was playing up to the level of a division league, and I had an accident and had a hairline fracture, and my father got panicked and he burned my kit, everything, and told me not to, no more of this. So when this thing happened, what happened is, there is no other way. What is the next entertainment? Just then I started reading because he had so much of collection. That really has helped me. So I feel that that incident in playing cricket, I would not have reached anywhere. But at least reading books, at least I am sitting in front of you and talking now. So, moreover, what I thought is there is something I thought, see, Indian cinema has a special way of making it. I tell you why. When you're taking a thriller in an American film or anywhere in the universe, you'll find only one line of the film. Okay, it's a thriller. Here, inside a thriller, there is a comedy track, there is a love track, there's so many things inside this thriller, because basically we make films for different kind of audience. That is, they want family to come, they want youngsters to come, they want people who likes the mass people to come. Everything they want in one film. This is a system we started long time back. And they want music, they want dance, everything they want it in a thriller. So, we have a very unique way of making film. Maybe that is why they call it Bollywood films instead of saying Indian cinema.
Do you like the term Bollywood?
No, I don't, because since Oxford book also has accepted it, now it's okay. But why Bollywood is okay, now Tollywood, Mollywood, Mallywood, I don't know why, what this would. We are actually aping that. So it's like, there's something very interesting. Liquor mafia, you hear. See, I was wondering, mafia means my family. Cosa Nostra. So, how did they bring crime into my family? So, some journalists used it. Later, people thought, okay, mafia's meaning is this. Nobody researched or analyzed, but they decided, okay, this is the word
Let's
to be
use
used.
it, yeah.
Same is happening in Bollywood and Collywood and all those things. Anyway, that's none of our problem. The issue is how well we can carry this industry forward, because it has to survive along. So, but one thing I tell you, that's something I love about Malayalam film. They are coming with content. They don't have money to make big films, but the small films, these young boys of Kerala, they are coming with fantastic content. I really appreciate Malayalam films' growth now.
You know, comedy in South films, how different is that treated than the comedy in Hindi films? In terms of writing, or it's more or less the
I
same?
mean, if you ask me, except Malayalam film comedy all over India is, I tell you, it's buffoonery only. Personally, I'm sorry, I'm not an insult to anybody. I cannot digest, because only in Malayalam films they came to a certain extent of good humor. See, the rest is comedy. If you say,
Right.
that is it. The humor needs many layers, and it is done properly. I have never seen, only Malayalam movies are doing it.
Do you remember the last time you laughed, like really laughed watching a film wholeheartedly?
At her, laughed at,
No,
or
enjoy. Well, you could give me two answers.
no, I tell you, the last time I laughed wholeheartedly is by watching a small clip of Tamil film where this actor, suddenly his name is not coming into my mouth. Anyway, who comes and says, how much this picture costs, and this monkey's picture costs, and the guy is telling them, this one? I said, yes. No, that is a mirror. So, but it was done so well. I really felt like because both the characters were so serious. See, I always feel that so many people as characters should not your characters in the frame when it comes to humor, they should play it seriously. Only the people should laugh. Here, what happens is, I've seen many times the characters are trying to make faces to make people laugh. This is my only problem issue between the Indian so-called humor.
Got it. We'll be more vigilant next time watching films. I want to ask you, was there that moment of being a proud dad when Loka came out and it...
Yeah, definitely. I mean, see, it's like, there are moments, you are children, that's what I felt proud about Kalyani, and as my daughter, and I felt equally proud about Aditya as a disciple. So when your children and your disciple do well in life, there is nothing more that happiness that which anybody can get. The ultimate happiness you can ever have, whether it's your disciples or your children. They are doing well, you really feel very, 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 that's the best feel one can ever have. So generally I tell that me and my daughter, I never ask what she is doing. I never interfere on to her. I never, many producers come and tell me, can you listen? I said, no, nothing doing. She decides what she wants to do. I don't get into that. And we both never have different kind of tastes on cinema. But there is something common which falls in between me and my daughter, is that the other things in life, there we are common. So we never discuss cinema.
So there's no discussion for films over dinner, or is that a conscious effort you make?
No,
both of you?
no, never ever. We never talk about cinema to each other.
Ah, that's interesting. Very
because
refreshing.
there are so many other interesting things to talk.
I want to move. I mean, this is a landmark movie for you, Bhoot Bangla. It's also a landmark number for you. It's almost like hitting a century out of the ballpark now, right? You're very clear in terms of what will your 100th film be and who will it be with, more importantly.
Yeah, it's with Mohanlal. My first film hero, I'm doing my 100th film hero. So I said, it's never happened in the history of the world. So I said, okay, let's make it happen, if God willing. So that is but it's not a comedy film, it's a film. Basically, I think, I don't want to announce it, but I think basically it's based on music.
I mean, I've had the chance of meeting Mohanlal sir only once so far, and I can tell that the passion and the love that you both have for your craft, you can tell. What's the one thing about him that has stayed with you? Like, there is a part of him that touched you as a person, not just as a director.
It's very interesting. Success of a film, I've never seen him enjoying, celebrating, and a failure of a film, I've never seen him disappointed. Something very lovely about Mona, he just believes that I've done my job. The rest is not my responsibility. As an actor, he puts anything, once if he commit, he puts 100 of him, but whether it succeeded or it failed, I've never seen it affecting him. That's one of the, because I've seen people, many actors go insecure when films go wrong, and continuously it goes wrong, they become very panicky, they become very insecure. No, I've never seen. I've seen it happening by Mohanlal. I've seen success also hitting them. Again, you'll see the same person. This is something I love about him.
So the 100th film is going to be a special one, clearly.
Yeah, always, you can never, I tell you, that is one philosophy. Never, if you ever want to make God laugh, tell your plans to him. So I don't want to say that, okay, 100 film. So you don't know. If it is destined, it will happen. And definitely, I hope it will happen this year only.
You know, the feedback to the visuals of Bhoot Bangla that have come, the track, takes a lot of us back to the younger Akshay Kumar, all that 2000s early Akshay Kumar, that spunk, that energy, that just tomfoolery, like I would say, just him being himself, right? A lot of people on social media have said that finally it's happened. We've been wanting Priyan sir and Akshay to come together and do a film. Talk to me a bit about Bhoot Bangla and the space that it is in.
Okay, lot of people, the negativeness is that everybody is thinking it is something like Bulbulaya. But it is positive also, because in Bulbulaya I was doing a psychological thriller. I don't call it a ghost film. Here in India, there is so many things. There's a huge. Indians are full of superstitions. We leak. We should not cross the road if a cat runs. So, but I found very interesting. All the superstitions are based on science. If why you don't do in villages and all, you don't do because it is something. Some danger is coming behind. That's why it's running so fast. So wait and see what is behind. Don't cross before that. So these are the kind of science is there in every superstition and every grandmother story. It is there. Because that is the only way to make children believe. Also black magic people believe. See, it is even in Bible you read about teleportation and soul migration, everything. We also believe in that. So there is and folklores are there here a lot. So little bit of mythology is here. So we mixed all these things and scientifically based on quantum science and theories, just made a background and said that it's a folklore. And how folklore is becoming real, it could happen. There's a famous line in the play Dracula. In the play they did it. When you finish, they say that sleep well and have pleasant dreams. But remember, there are such things. Then only we walk out of the. So that kind of a feel is based on that only I made this film. This is exactly the same line is the theme of this film, but made in the genre of Bulbulella. You can laugh and laugh and laugh and slowly get into tension. This is fantasy. That is more realistic. That's the only difference.
You spoke about quantum science. I want to quickly get your thoughts on AI.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about it. There's no escape. Your thoughts?
No. See, the thing is, at present I have seen, we have also used all these real engine, and now airport, there's a new one which has come. We have, because for graphics also I was using it. Changing, say, for example, astronauts are left without dubbing certain parts. We use just voice, of course, with their permission only. But I'm more worried about misuse than the advantage.
How do you think it will be misused?
Many which ways. Because there should not be a stage we can't find out what is real and what is unreal. That's a very dangerous stage. So at present, AI is working on the data which is available to them. There will be a stage, they start creating their own data, then we are in big trouble.
We are in trouble, but we are also on the line to watch Bhoot Bangla now. All the very best, and thank you for this chat with Variety India.
Right, thank you.